Hey guys, today we're going to talk about commutative and associative properties. And I'm going to first explain the properties to you, and then I'll do some examples according to the textbook today. Okay? Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the commutative property. So think of the word commute. What does commute mean? Like when you're commuting to work or commuting to school. To commute means to move. So the commutative property means that no matter how you move the numbers around in a problem that you're solving, as long as it's all addition or all multiplication, you're going to get the same answer. That's the commutative property. For example, I could have 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 7, and I'll get the same answer as if I had 7 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2. It doesn't matter that I've rearranged the digits. I'm going to get the same answer because they're all addition. And I'm using the order of operations, solving each problem from left to right, and that will get me the same answer for each side because it's all the same numbers and they're all being added. Same thing applies to multiplication. So if I had 5 times 2 times 8, I'll get the same answer as if I do 8 times 5 times 2 because it's all multiplication and it doesn't matter that I've moved the numbers around. That is the commutative property. Okay, commute means to move. All right, and I hope that you're pausing this video whenever you need to. If you need to like write something down or think about it a little longer, please feel free to pause the video. So let's go to the associative property now. The associative property always includes parentheses. And what that says is as long as it's all addition or all multiplication, it doesn't matter where I put the parentheses, I'm still going to get the same answer. Okay? But it can only be addition signs, or it could only be multiplication signs in the problem. You can't mix the two of them up because then it won't work. So for example, I could have 5 plus 3 plus 2, and that's the same as 5 plus 3 plus 2. It doesn't matter that I move the parentheses, I'm still going to get the same answer. Also, I could do it with multiplication. So I could have 6 times 8 times 4, and I'll get the same answer even if I move those parentheses around the 8 and the 4. Okay? It doesn't matter where I move the parentheses as long as the entire problem is addition or the entire problem is multiplication. And that is the associative property. Okay, let's do some examples from the book today. So in the book, I see two different sections that we're going to focus on. I see a section that says evaluate each expression, and I see another section that says simplify each expression. So let's do the evaluate one first. I'm on page 34. And I'm going to start with number 4. I'm just going to write the problem down. 14 plus 18 plus 26. And all they want you to do is solve the problem. You just have to add the numbers and write the answer. So when I look at this problem, I can see that these two combine much easier inside my brain because I know 4 plus 6 is 10, carry my 1. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus the 1 I carried is 4. So 14 plus 26 is 40. Then I'm going to bring down the number that I didn't use yet and add that in for my last step. So 40 plus 18 is 58. Now that's how I chose to do it. If you were doing it, maybe you would have added 14 and 18 first, but you would have gotten the same answer. Just make sure you show your work, bring it down, and you'll be good. All right, let's do number 5. Number 5 says 3.5 plus 4 plus 2.5. Don't be afraid of the fractions. Fractions are our friends. They're not scary, okay? So the first thing I'm going to look at is that I have 2 halves. Guess what, people? 2 halves make 1 whole. So I'm going to cross those out and add another 1 to this problem because the 2 halves make a whole. So now I can just add all the whole numbers that I have left. I have 3 plus 4, which is 7. Then I'm going to bring down what I didn't use yet. Okay, and that whole came from my 2 halves. That's where that 1 came from. Now I'm going to add the next 2, 7 plus 2, which is 9. And bring down the 1 that I didn't use yet. And then my final step, 9 plus 1, is 10. And that's my answer. Number 6 is multiplication. So we're going to do 5 times 3 times 6 times 4. Again, it does not matter what order you multiply these numbers in. So for me, I might look for something that looks like it multiplies a little easier or into a number that's easier to work with. So I see that I have, I guess I'm going to do 5 times 6 first because it makes a nice round number. 5 times 6 is 30. Then I'm going to bring down the rest. So now I'm going to do 30 times 3, which is 90. Bring down my 4. And then 90 times 4, I'm thinking what's 9 times 4? 36. And then put a 0 on the end because it was 90, not 9. All right, so that's my answer, 360. Remember, pause the video if you need more time to write this down or process. And the last one in this section has fractions, so I want to do it with you because I don't want you to be afraid of the fractions. 5/6 times 16 times 9 3/4. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this mixed number and turn it into an improper fraction because I cannot work with it when I have it in this form. So to turn it into an improper fraction, I'm going to multiply 4 times 9, which is 36, and then I'm going to add 3. So 36 plus 3 is 39. And then I'm going to keep the 4 on the bottom because there was already a 4 on the bottom. Keep the 4 on the bottom. All right. Then we have 16. Remember, imaginary 1 is always sitting underneath every whole number. And then I have 5/6. So this is going to be a crazy problem, but we're going to do it. So the first thing you do is just multiply whichever ones together that you want to multiply first. So I'm gonna use my calculator on this one. Not gonna lie. So 5 times 16 is 80/6. And then I'm gonna bring down the fraction that I haven't used yet. And then I'm gonna multiply 80 times 39, which is a really large number, 3,120. And then I'm going to multiply the bottom numbers. 6 times 4 is 24. Now my last step, a fraction means what? Fractions mean divide. So I'm going to divide this big number, this 3,120, by 24 and see if it goes evenly, because that would make a really nice answer for us if it does. It does. It's 130. I hope you could see that frontwards and not backwards. All right. So that is the end of that one. And let's do a couple other examples, okay? So the next section says simplify each expression. So it's giving me some numbers and variables, and it wants me to simplify. And remember, simplify means combine like terms. So I'm going to look for any terms that are alike and combine them. X and X go together. So I'm just going to add 4 plus 6. 4 plus 6 is 10. Write the x next to it. There is nothing that will go with this y. This y is kind of out there by himself, so I'm just going to leave him by himself because I cannot combine. Time's up. I cannot combine an x with a y, so they have to stay separate. So the answer for this one is just 10x plus 5y. That's as low as it can go. Number 9 says 5a plus 3b plus 2a plus 7b. All right, so again, I'm looking for like terms. I see that I have an a and an a, and I see that I have a b and a b. So first I'm going to add my a's. 5 plus 2 is 7a.